Go, what's up, man? How you doing today?
Doing great, bro. I can't complain. Can't complain.
How would you introduce yourself to someone who maybe doesn't know you yet?
So pretty big following on social media, but my real name is Jordan. Some people may know me as Kovvefba. I guess entrepreneur, business owner, um, almost a liquid millionaire. Um, yeah, that's how I'd introduce myself.
How did that name Cove come about?
ChatGPT. Straight off ChatGPT. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking of cool internet names and ChatGPT
Jesus, bro,
came up.
this will be the story for so many like influencers in the next
Yeah,
few years, bro.
ChatGPT.
That's hilarious. Not gonna lie, that you're the first guy to ever heard that from. That's cute. That's interesting, man. Okay, man, interesting. I want to start from the beginning. What was your like childhood like? How did you grow up?
I grew up really rough. Really. I mean, I don't like to complain a lot. I know people have grown up, some foreign country, some parents, some guy's parents was probably bombed or something. But when I was 8 years old, my aunt died, and my dad was kind of a really bad person at the time. He, cheated on my mom, and then from 8 years old to 18 years old, it was just they were getting back together, they were divorcing, getting back together, and caused me to be homeless over probably 25 times from the age of 8. And then when I was 16, my mom got colon cancer. We were living in a half abandoned house on a farm. So I had to drop out of school and start paying the bills and stuff. So I started working with my hands. The only job that I could get was you know um, just manual labor jobs. So I started working like landscaping and construction and stuff like that until I eventually, it's like, okay, I need to start making some money. And then I started, my business kind of exploded, started another business, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm.
But yeah, a quick story, like the main source of my story, I'm a Christian. Jesus Christ is the way. I was 17 years old, about ready just to, you know, get rid of myself.
Mhm.
And a guy came up to me and started, preaching the gospel and stuff to me. But that's kind of how I came to be, I guess.
So you only
But yeah,
started
that's
believing in God like at like 17 or something like that?
yes, correct, yes.
Okay. You didn't grow up in a Christian household.
No, no, my dad was an atheist for sure.
Oh, okay. Man, this is aside from a topic, but I'm thinking, man, who do you think is like more devoted to Jesus? Is the person who grew up and was like taught like this from a childhood, or that found Jesus later in life on his own? Because the two of us, we have like the separate, like the opposite. Like I grew up in a Christian household. You didn't, but then you found Jesus yourself.
So that's a good question. So I feel like Jesus will come to you, and Jesus will show you the way at least once in somebody's lifetime. What really drew me closer to Christianity is just this whole concept of good and evil. So what I mean by that is Christianity, all you hear is, the bad stuff on the news and all of that. Kind of God kind of showed me the truth. I was Muslim at the time actually, and it's like
Really?
nothing, anything bad about Islam. You never see anything bad about Islam, and I just realized the devil really likes to attack the good things, and what is the most attacked religion? It's Christianity. Actually, yeah, that's kind of my perspective on that. But yeah.
How did you get into it? Did you grow up in a Muslim household then, or did you find Islam on your own?
So it's a funny story. So I'm originally from Philadelphia, and I was just surrounded by my best friends that were Muslim, and I was really just like a, I guess, prospect in my own like of my environment, if that makes
Mm.
sense. But I was just I would go to the masjid, the mosque, and every day with my boys, and it just kind of got warped up into that friend group, I
Okay.
guess.
Interesting, man. Yeah, That's interesting. It's like whenever
Yeah,
like there's like a white Muslim, most people like don't know how to feel about that. Like there are
yeah,
not
yeah.
many white Muslims. Yeah.
There's not. There's definitely not.
Yeah. Who did you like look up to as a kid? When you were like a kid, like did you have like any role models? Since it probably wasn't your dad, did you have like a lot of us like our generation grew up on Andrew Tate, for example, from like 14,
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so Andrew Tate's definitely a big one. I definitely do agree with a lot of his principles in terms of like working hard and becoming the best possible version of yourself. Yeah, but other type of stuff that he talks about, I don't really follow because it's not very Christ-like.
Yeah.
But the person that I actually looked up to, surprisingly, was my father, but in a completely
Really?
reverse way. What he did is what I learned not to do, if that
Oh,
makes sense.
yeah, yeah. Reverse. Like you
That
want to be
was
the opposite.
I grew up as a fighter. He wanted me to be a fighter. He was a fighter. He wanted me to be a successful fighter. And I would come home every day, and he would fight me. I would be trained every day to fight. So that's really, I guess, who I looked up to. But other than that, I never really, besides Andrew Tate, that really got me into making money and wanting to be rich and stuff. That was like I have different role models for different things. But my main role
Mm,
model now is
yeah. Who you could have?
what did you say? Oh, I said the one person that I will always look up to, that I will continue to look up to, is Jesus Christ. That's my role model.
Yeah.
Obviously, people that He sends my way to be some sort of role model. It's actually interesting. I want to talk about this topic. I know it's probably there's gonna be a
Yeah,
lot of
of
people
course.
watching. Put it out. Um, as a man or a boy turning into a man, when you don't have a father, you will constantly, 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 constantly be looking for guidance. That is just a psychological way that I guess young boys will try and lean towards. Is any type of man that comes into their life, they'll look up to him 100%. They'll give him all of their trust 100%. And it's very interesting, and this is why it's very important to choose very, very, very wisely on who you listen to and who you look up to. So that I really wanted to say that as well, because that's one of the problems that
Mm.
I have. Even now, myself, like this guy, older guy, not in a gay way or anything, but I'm like, dude, look up to him as much as I can right now. And it's like
Yeah.
that I had to learn to cut that off. So I was taking in a lot of bad information as well.
I feel like though it's not just like guys without like good father figures, but it's just like in general, guys our age now. Like, bro, like I found myself getting so influenced by like people like Andrew Tate and Hamza, etc. And
Yeah,
it's like I still agree with the majority of what those guys are. Like I look at them more positively than negative, but it's like I always like I always struggle with like having like a healthy level of respect towards someone. I always either hated them or idolized them. And then as I grew up in the last like 1, 2 years, that's when I like started to like I'm only gonna take like the good things or like things I agree with from each person, but I'm not gonna follow everything that they say. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I can relate to that for sure.
Yeah. So I think it's actually like us young guys in general, not just. Mm.
Yeah, it's usually how it is. Yeah.
So before you got into business, did you work like maybe 9 to 5s when you were like younger, maybe or?
Yes, construction, landscaping, any type of job that I could really, I guess, use my hands on that I didn't need a high school diploma for. Before I started my business, I was building water features. I was a valet. I worked plenty, plenty, plenty of jobs to pay the bills. Door dashing. Yeah, that was actually funny. My last job, I was working, 12 hours a day in the wintertime, and then in the wintertime, I would stay up for 2 days in a row, and then go out and shovel snow all night long, and then just sleep on my breaks and stuff. So that was kind of where I stemmed from before, like the whole business stuff.
Hmm. So you're now like an FBA. Could you explain to someone what that is or what you do now, if for someone who doesn't know?
Yeah, absolutely. So Amazon's a good business model. Amazon FBA stands for Amazon Fulfilled by Amazon. It's pretty much for just reselling everyday name brand products on Amazon. Like that's like the simple term I can kind of put it. One of the things that I would add about it is that there's already demand on each individual listing on Amazon. So there's no need to really run ads. You just need to figure out how to supply that demand, if that makes sense. But yeah, Amazon, it's just, reselling everyday name brand products on Amazon.
Okay. So how does that really work? Like, is it like content? Is it through like what?
It's just hopping on listings that are owned by brands and you're selling their brand pretty much. So we don't run any type of
Oh,
ads or
yeah.
put it. We have to think of it like an auction. We're not, creating this listing. We're joining already previously existing listings, if that makes sense.
Mm. Makes sense. Huh. Interesting. Did
Yeah.
you like how long was it did it take you to like start making like really like good money, like let's say 5+ K a month?
So first 2.5 months, I lost 2.5K, and then fast forward a couple, yeah, my third month I broke even, made some profit, and then my fourth month I did 5K in revenue, and then my fifth month I did 10K in revenue, and then my sixth month I did 12.5K in revenue, and just kept on going up and up and up until now 160K a month.
Dang. Damn,
Yeah,
talk about a
again,
fucking like how long you been in this thing? Like 2 years, you said?
2.5. Yeah,
Jesus, man. It's like
yeah,
what I'm thinking about? It's crazy because it's like only this generation, like guys our age, can like make this type of money. Like in like
yeah,
the 70s, 80s, bro. Like there was no such thing as a 22-year-old millionaire. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's like now we have the
There,
opportunity.
Yeah, we do. And also, it's just simply just due to the fact that a lot of older guys, and especially guys in the past, the indoctrination system was, when I mean indoctrination system, I mean like the school system was very, very good in terms of, making people only have the mindset as a worker and not
Mm,
wanting people to go out and venture off of the actual system that they're providing people. So that's just one of the blessings that I was able to have was, dropping out of school. I kind of was separated
mm.
from that whole system. I definitely don't speak like a 20-year-old. I definitely don't sound like a
Yeah.
20-year-old. But I may look like a 20-year-old for sure, maybe even younger. But that's just I give blessings to that is just being separated from all of that.
Yeah. And I feel like especially like our parents, like A, basically, they like they don't even look at it as a realistic thing. Maybe in the US they do, but for example, bro, when I dropped out of high school at 16, 3 years ago, bro, my parents like were about to fucking kill me. Right? They were
Yeah,
like, what the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna work on? Right? And I started making
yeah,
like, thumbnails and I started clipping, but I wasn't making any good money from that. Maybe like $100 fucking every now and then. It's like not very much money. And it took me
yeah,
like, bro, a proper year and a half to get to like 1K a month. Just and that
yeah,
was like that's like the average like income here in this country, right? The Czech Republic.
yeah,
And I'm like, at that point, like when my parents started seeing it like that, I'm basically making it almost as much money as them. They were making a little bit more. But it's like I'm working like, like below 10 hours a day. Like it's like and I'm doing
and for
something that
yourself.
I enjoy. It's like that's when like they kind of like what the fuck is this? What do you do? It's like they didn't understand. We were just curious. They didn't understand it, right? Then obviously I started making a little bit more money, but it's like even like I don't know my girlfriend's parents, for example, they don't understand what the fuck I'm doing, right? And
Yeah.
they like they don't know, and it's like I don't know how to explain it to them. Like it's like our parents' generation, people like in their 40s and 50s. Like how do you explain? Is there any point in like explaining something like that to them? Like do you,
No. Number there's two detrimental things that can happen. Actually, before this, thing we're doing now, for this podcast, I was on a phone with a kid. He wanted to join my mentorship. He was super interested in Amazon. I wasn't applying pressure to him or anything. I was like, hey, bro, this is it. This is how much it costs. This is the guarantee in it. Again, it is a risk at the end of the day. And he was like, dude, 100%, I will 100% do it. And then his dad came on the phone and he was like, absolutely not. No, you're not doing this. You're going to college. And it's why do our parents try and not guide us, but direct us and keep us from making decisions based on our like just stop us from making decisions at all
yeah.
when those decisions from my experience the reason why I'm so well spoken and developed what I have today is simply just due to the fact that I tried everything and I failed hundreds, probably not, maybe even thousands of times. That's why I'm here today, is because I learned from those
Yeah.
failures. A lot of parents nowadays, they just want to control our kids rather than guide them, which is the correct way to do so. So, yeah,
Yeah.
there is really no way you can ask them for advice and stuff, but I would take it with a grain of salt, depending on who your parent.
For example, I remember when Hamza gave this piece of advice, like when a guy on his coaching call, on his group call in his community, well, like he said, like my parents are trying to force me to go to college. Like I'm finishing high school this year, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? He said, with these types of parents that you can't argue with, you straight up lie to their face. You say, yeah, I'm gonna apply for these colleges today, and you basically say that you applied to them, and you lied to them to their face until like it's too late to apply anymore, and then they just find out that you lied to them this whole time because even if you did what they said, you were gonna have arguments about something anyways. So it might as
Yeah,
well be for something that you want to do.
yeah, no, 100%. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
So for me, for my situation, bro, my parents thought I was going to school. Bro, I was going to the gym in the morning and then I was going to a coffee shop on my laptop and trying to fucking build this business, right? Until they kicked me out
Yeah,
of high school, basically. And
yeah,
that's when they were trying to want to fucking bro. They yelled at me, they were mad at me as fuck. But it's like 2 years later, not 3 years later actually, I'm super happy for this, bro. It's like it was probably the best decision ever. I haven't worked a job in like a year, bro. It's been so much
fire.
better. But it's yeah, like now's the thing that now working a job is nice, but it's like your life is still like kind of similar, but before you get to like 8K, 10K a month and past that. And that's the point where I'm at right now. So definitely a lot of a journey to go.
You do, yeah, it's great.
Did you like try you said as you failed a lot of times before with FBA. Did you try like multiple business models ideas before?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Probably, dude, it's crazy. I tried out drop shipping, wholesale real estate, SMMA, reselling shoes back in the day, reselling Roblox gift cards, literally everything. Building Roblox games, everything. I've tried literally everything for two and a half
Jesus, bro.
years before I found Amazon, and then it was, Amazon took off.
Did you make like any money with anything before that?
I just lost money. Trading too. That was heavily the trading.
Oh man, yeah. And I actually did like 2 years ago. I tried to also like do crypto on the side. Stupid fucking idiot, right?
Yeah,
And just because I had some friends that were in crypto that made some money, right? And bro, I
yeah,
remember one time, we like sniped like this coin on Twitter, and we made like I think I made like $70, right? And that's when I was like, okay, I'm fully locking in into crypto. 2 months later, bro, I lost like $400 in the last 2 months. I'm like, why the fuck didn't I just stay clipping? So that's the one from clipping the graphics, right? So now I started making thumbnails and websites. But it's like I just completely for 2 months, I completely got straight away just by a small W, just like $70, bro. What's that? And I just like flip flop from business model until I've stuck to something.
yeah. That's usually what happened. That's what happened to me too. Just
Yeah.
shiny
You know,
object syndrome.
yeah, I heard from some other guests, they say always um that you can have an experienced businessman or like an entrepreneur and you can put him in almost any industry and he'll get making good money within a year. But you can get someone in the best industry, even a good mentor, but if they're not like with an entrepreneurial mindset and they're not willing to like stick to something, it's like they'll just quit. Um and I actually agree with
Yeah,
that, to be honest. I feel like
very, very, very true. Very true.
yeah.
Like
I feel like
just
you could go ahead.
so like just like anything, dude. Like for example, like my mother-in-law, she always says like they call me Jack around here. Some just like the Jack of all trades. Like needs her pool fixed, I'll help her with that. Or she needs help cutting the
Yeah.
grass, so I work jobs. I do that. Anything that I do, I've probably had experience with it, and if I don't have experience with it, I'll figure it out within 30 minutes. So
Mm.
it's he just comes down to a mindset of like I guess having to do things with there's going to be consequences. I never really had a safety net, so it had to be done right.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Damn, man. It's like to that point, I want to say, bro, you can put like Jeff Bezos in fucking any industry, bro, and he'll do well.
Yeah,
But it's like
yeah,
you can put someone and like give him like already like let's say his dad bought him a business that's worth like let's say 200 grand. It's small business, right? compared
Yeah.
to like an LLC. And within like a year, that business revenue from like 200K a year will go to fucking 10K. It will go to
Oh,
fucking nothing because of an inexperienced person that also like doesn't want to like stick to something, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. What would you say were like your biggest mistakes when you got into FBA in the beginning, in the first half a year?
So the biggest mistakes that I made was not having the proper supply chain documents and getting my account frozen. I
Mm,
had some problems with USPS. That was those were like the main mistakes. But my main mistake in business is there's no mistake that I made, because there's two types of wins and losses. There is the win, boom, life's great right now. And then there is the, oh shit, I just lost everything, but I have something more valuable out of it. I know exactly what not to do the next time. So there is really no
yeah,
such thing.
lesson.
That was my, I guess, biggest hurdle to my mistake was not understanding that. That was my biggest mistake.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, the lesson out of
Yeah.
it is a lot of times like very valuable. Yeah. Did you like did you like have any IRL haters, like like family members, friends, etc.? Because online you're always
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
have haters, but it's like in real life.
Oh yeah. So the haters on social media, I do have a lot of haters. I get death threats every day. Um, but honestly, when I was studying on how to really go viral, I actually went viral the week after that, and my account went from 900 followers to 90K followers within a couple of months.
Jesus.
So yeah, that was literally from just understanding that it takes two types of people to go viral. It takes 50% of the people that love you and 50% of the people that hate you. And they'll argue in the comments, and that pushes out the algorithm. So when I got in the fight
Mm.
with that black, um, I wanted to IRL stream, see if I can, I even said, maybe we might get in a fight tonight, and that's one of the ways I'll go viral, in the VOD. And I live streamed, and it happened. And if you go in the comments, there's 50% of the people that love me, and there's 50% of the people that absolutely want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll just argue in the comments and everything, and it really pushed me out. So that is like, but I did have a lot of IRL haters. So when I first started this, stuff, I had a girlfriend. I won't give out her name, but yeah, my best friend at the time actually slept with her, and then sent me a
Jesus.
video of it saying your little business is never gonna work
Oh man.
out. I actually recently got a message from him saying, "Yo, put me on, bro." So that was nice to see.
Yeah, you know what, man? It's always like the fucking pe people that weren't like nasty in the past that you know when
Always, yeah, circle back.
yeah. When I left high school, actually, I had a guy that was bullying me hard in high school because I was like this. I was actually the fat kid in middle school, and I was a skinny kid in high school.
Yeah,
And this dude would always fucking pick on me because he knew I can defend myself, right? When I left high school, like also they made fun of my YouTube, for example, my YouTube channel and the podcast, etc. And they like even play those videos in the class, and I would like feel like weird because it's a room full of haters. It's like you know
yeah,
that feeling, right? And
yeah.
and like literally like in the past year I saw him follow me and like literally like my stories and watch my stories and like my posts, right? And I'm like, ugh, man, like again, this guy, like I haven't spoken to him in like 2 years, 2.5 years, but it's like now he's like doing all this shit. I'm like, yeah, these people like they don't change, you know?
Nope, they do not.
Yeah. What do you think is the main like aside from like not sticking to something, what's another reason why you think like people get motivated in the first 6 months, would do whatever, and quitting, failing, there's no such thing as failing, quitting, I say.
Yeah. Um, so it does take a very special person to develop multiple different business models that are successful, not just register as a business to the state. So a lot of people do like to brag about the fact that they have a business, and it's just not
Yeah.
profitable. Um, it takes a person with just a complete vision, like a vision so clear, it is like insane. So for example, like me, I'll use myself for example, 'cause I have this. I was driving a Mazda before all of this, and I would it was a stick shift Mazda, and I would hold on to the gears, or sorry, I would hold on to the steering wheel. I would manually shift the paddle shifters as if I was in a C8. That was my dream car
Uh,
at the time. And then, fast forward 2 years later, now I have one, which is great. So it takes a very special type of person to overcome those failures and still have that vision as clear as day. For the people that do just quit, I mean, they don't understand the simple concept of life. And the simple concept of life is that you have one life, and you have infinite spins on the slot machine. So if you fail, if you lose one, you can hit it again. No matter how much money you have, no matter how much time you have, nothing. You hit it, click it, and then the odds are say that you are gonna hit the jackpot. So you just have to spin the
yes.
wheel. Sometimes you might hit the jackpot on the first go, or the first hundredth go, or
Yeah.
the no matter however the odds are just different for everybody. So yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say I lack that understanding of everything is just a gamble, and you have infinite clicks on the slot machine.
Yeah. I remember I was a third time, like a year and a half ago, before I got into thumbnails, I was cold calling like American businesses, right?
Yeah,
Because I wanted their websites. I was like in time where AI was just starting to be useful, and I was like using Base 44 to make their websites, bro. And I would like I'm from Europe, and I would call like American businesses. So obviously my phone bill would be like
yeah,
70, $80 extra at the end of the month. Right. And I'm like,
yep,
what the fuck? So I'm like, I need to make a sale now. So it took me 2 months, right? So I spent like around $150 at this point, right? And I made my first sale for a website which was $350. And I'm like, I mean, I made $200 profit. Counting the dozens of hours of fucking call calling, it was probably like slave work. But
yeah.
that first sale, first three
It,
digit
exactly.
sale, like that felt so good. Like, like uh
Yeah,
especially it's because it was an American business, right? I went on Google Maps. I went to fucking Alabama, Ohio, Florida, all different states, bro. Where I'm not even American, and I just like cold call every business, right? And put this American accent, trying to sound American, right? And not have an accent. And I made it in 2 months. I made my first sale, so that was a nice moment. But it was again because I didn't quit, even though it cost me money. It cost me like an extra
yeah,
60, 70, $80 an extra on my phone bill. I'm like, fucking hell, because I
yeah,
was working a job at that time. And I remember that first sale. I broke even basically, but it was like, it's such a good
yeah.
feeling.
That first sale is always better than the 10K month, 20K month,
Mm.
30K month, so on. It's always that first sale that will always keep you going.
When I made my first 2K month, I remember I looked at my Stripe like overview over the last 30 days. I just noticed, bro, I broke like 2K, $2,100. And I'm like, I didn't even notice it because it's like not like one big paycheck like in a job at the end of the month or like on the 10th on whatever day. It's like you get a sale like every other day, something like that. Especially or like in this business model, right? So I didn't even notice it until like I looked at my Stripe overview and I saw 2.1K in the last 30 days. I'm like, I just made my first 2K month. I didn't even notice that. I remember that.
Yeah,
That was it doesn't even feel like real or like anything.
like I have a software company and stuff, so I'll look at my Stripe right now. My Stripe is I haven't even looked at this, 5.1K in the last 5 days. So it's like
Jesus.
it's always nice to kind of look back on it when
Yeah, bro.
no
Yeah.
money coming in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine that, bro. That shit, that 5K would take me like 2 months or a month and a half to make anyway in 5 days. That's a W, bro. That's like a goal I'm working towards,
Yeah.
bro. Hey, man. What would you say was like the biggest risk you took in the last like year?
Biggest risk that I took in the last year? That's a very good question. Um, so one of the biggest risks that I took when I went viral, I had a whole bunch. This is focusing on my mentorship business, my info business. I was, I just had so many leads, and one of the risks that I took was hiring a sales team. and they stole 70 grand from me. So that was like a big
How?
risk that didn't pay off for me. They just, instead of the prospects paying me, they sent them to their Stripe. I'm currently
Oh
in
man.
I'm currently in a lawsuit with them. But yeah, and then there is my first big risk that actually took me. If I didn't take that risk, I probably wouldn't be here today. One of those risks were when I started Amazon, I was making good money. Then I got Section 3, my account was frozen. And I had all my money frozen in there, and I wouldn't have released for another 100 days. And I had rent. I had no money in the bank account. Um, what I had to do was pay $1,500 for an Amazon lawyer. That wasn't guaranteed. It was through crypto. It was so sketchy, and I just
Mm,
was like, last $1,500, boom, sent it. Waited 3 days, my account got reactivated. But that was like the biggest risk that I took, so I didn't take that
mm,
risk. I would be here, and if I did take that risk, I'm obviously here now. But yeah, that was like the biggest risk I've ever taken.
mm. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, bro.
And my rent was flat too, so it was
Oh
huge.
man. Man, I can just imagine that. I never had my Stripe account frozen yet, so I haven't went through that. But bro, I'm waiting
Yeah.
for that because I know it's happening one day, bro. I have a pretty feeling. Yeah, Jesus. What would you say is like because I have like one friend. I'm not gonna name his name, but he has like a big channel with like 50K subs, and he made like he had like his first like 15K month, and then like literally like half a year later he's back to like making like 5K from his school community, right? But he had a month where he made like 15K, and then now he's back at like 4 to 5K, and he's obviously trying to still pushing the content out, trying to build up back. But I'm like, my question is, how do you keep the momentum going once you get past 10, 20, 30K a month? Like, how do you keep the momentum going and not lose it?
Great question. I actually looking forward to answering this. When you get your first 10K months, don't expect another 10K month. You'll probably hit a $0 month. And the reason for that is just when you get your hands on that money, it's going to be blown. I've blown my all of my money probably 4 times. 100K month, blew all that on a CA. Just blowing money left and right. And that's going to happen until you learn the lesson of being complacent and okay with the situation that you're in. Because a lot of people, they'll get their hands on that money, then their ego takes a hit, and then they'll spend it all, blow it all. And then, but again, there's a lesson in that, and to be complacent and to understand that the whole point of this first business model is just capital for you to go into the next bigger and better business model.
Mm,
For me, my software shit. So I made a whole bunch of money from Amazon that goes back into my software company that does really, really well nowadays.
mm,
So it's just, you know, understanding that this capital is for something else. And you have to live like you have been,
mm.
even though your bank account says a different number.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine that, and that would be a hard one. Uh, you know what? When I hit my first, just I don't know, that 2K is not anything in this world. I know, but it was like it was still like I'm still like on my momentum run right now. Like I'm still at my peak month right now, so it's like, man, I'm like trying not to spend as much as before, but it's like I bought new wheels for my
Look
car
at
that was like 500
don't even
bucks. And then yeah, man, it's I just feel like the fucking urge to like, to like get in a better apartment, right? Or like to buy a new car, etc. And I'm like holding in that urge. So that's why, bro, whenever I have like money in my Stripe, I don't even like pay out everything. Like I always leave like a lot of money in the Stripe, not in my bank account, like straight up. Because I know as soon as it's in my bank account, bro, I'm like a child with a fucking machine gun.
yeah.
So
And
yeah.
I was let that get ahead. I mean, literally, don't even look at it because when you look at that number, you're like, oh, I
Mm.
can, do, oh, I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that, man. Jesus. How do you how do you manage relationship with girls at this point?
Good question. Wanted to actually answer this as well. So, girls is a very sensitive topic for a lot of men nowadays, and my experience with that is when I was on my grind. I didn't have money in the bank. I got myself a little girlfriend. I was doing pretty good, like decent with my business, whatever, and I haven't touched a girl since her literally. and that calls for a unbalance. And what I mean by that is when you go from not having that intimate relationship to having it all of a sudden, your business is going to be thrown out the door. It's just going to be gone. You're not going to be working on it. When she's not answering you, she's going to be, when she's not answering you, you're going to be, questioning. Your mind's going to be on that. The most important thing is to either completely avoid women or always have them around so you can constantly work on your business by while also, like, I guess, not spending all of your time with her or on the relationship, because if you go from not having it to having it, you always want, like, you'll just spend time with her, you won't work on your business and stuff. But if you just always have her around, it's like, okay, let me just work on my business.
Mm,
So that very, very important. Just have them around.
yeah. Yeah, it makes sense, man. Is it like better to like find a good girl before you make it or after? Because right now, like my girl is supportive and everything, but I'm thinking like, man, so many guys like hate on this shit and say like you gotta be single until you make like 50K a month and only then look for something serious. And I'm like, it just doesn't feel right. Like she just makes my life easier. She whenever I ask for coffee or something to eat or she folds my clothing, she
Yeah.
always is like helpful and makes like these tasks throughout the house like so much like I don't even notice them. It's just like it's so much. She like probably saves me an extra hour a day. I'm like, how is that
Yeah,
bad? You know?
not bad. So there's two types of perspective in this world. There's, the alpha, beta, Hamza, Andrew Tate kind of view of, like, just focus on your business. Don't worry about that girl. Don't get girls. Blah blah blah. But at the same time, it's very important to find her beforehand, because while you're growing, she will also be growing for you, which is very, very important, because when you already made it, you're
Mm.
just gonna find girls that are money hungry, will probably kill you if they had the chance to receive all your money. Like me, I found my wife before I even, made anything.
Mm.
So it's very important to find her beforehand, because there's just very, very evil women out there that will try and take
Mm.
everything. But it's very
Yeah.
hard to find the girls. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very hard to find a good girl nowadays, especially in America.
Mm.
But at the same time, if you can find her, keep her around and make sure she's not partying, make sure she's not drinking or going out or anything, and allow her to grow with you. But yeah, I don't believe in the whole ideology to, not having women around. It's supposed to be
Mm.
a woman and a man from since the beginning of time, Adam
Yeah.
and Eve.
Yeah. I agree, man. Do you have like someone maybe online that inspires you now? Someone who- if you look at like you're like, man, this guy's like who I want to be like at his age or like something like that.
Yeah. Um, Not really, like, I don't really like sit there and scroll social media too often. But if there's one person I kind of do look up to, it's gonna be Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. Like, that's
Yeah.
just one of the people kind of started this all for me. I still do listen to a lot of especially Tristan Tate, since
Yeah.
he's Christian. Good things to say about Christianity and stuff. But yeah, I'd say Tristan Tate for sure.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Like, man, you
Also, like
don't
some
have
old
to.
Mike Tyson, like some of these guys that are just have that vision that I did, and also like that
Mm.
obsession that I did too.
Yeah. You know what? I just learned as you grow up more, it's like you don't have to agree with someone on everything in order to get along. Like, what the fuck, man? It's like
Yeah,
people, for example, disagree with the fact that Andrew, his opinion on women, etc. It's like, bro, but I respected you for everything else. It's like,
yeah,
bro, he fucking if it wasn't for him, bro, I would still think that you have to be born rich in order to be rich. Like it's impossible to make it if you wasn't born with money. It's like I would still be thinking that to this day if I never like saw his videos. So it's like I forever indebted to this man. You know, like he completely changed like the way I look at what's possible. And for so many men,
yeah,
it's the same.
yeah.
Yeah. For me, do you know Charlie Morgan?
I don't.
No? Ah, okay. Then
What is
it's
he? What does he do?
irrelevant. Yeah, he's
Oh,
He's worth like 40 million. He's like 29. He has like 300K subs or something like that. He's like a big
Oh, no
guy
way.
in he started with SMMA and now he does consulting, coaching. He has like a big school community with 70,000 people in it, stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd never heard of it.
What would you say is like your long-term vision? Because you're 20. Like, bro, by the time you're 23, 24, it's like damn man, I can't even imagine where you're gonna be like by then. Like what are you like working on for the next couple of years?
So, like I said in the beginning, it's all about getting the initial bag, and so you can have disposable capital to go into bigger and better business models. First thing I'm going to do is sell myself through a company and immediately start car washes and these recurring revenue type of
Mm,
companies in terms of commercial real estate and stuff. Really, just having like a real estate like empire. That's like the real wealth generator. You know, duplexes, triplexes, and all of
mm,
that. But yeah, like just building, just start the building wealth type of process.
mm. Okay. Yeah, that sounds. I really like that to be honest. Would you ever like think about, like maybe even later down the line like buying companies or like buying equities in companies, etc.
Maybe in the future if I want to gamble. Again, it's a risk. It's a,
If you want to gamble.
that'd be my gambling. That'd be my gambling dopamine. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I see like like when I was like a child more like I used to always watch on YouTube like that show Shark Tank. It's like an American
Okay.
shark. Yeah. Where like these big business owners and be these multimillionaires and even billionaires, I think, they would always like look at like people that would present their business in front of them and like, try to get them to buy in like percentage of their business.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, damn, bro. Like how many like Kevin O'Leary, for example, how many businesses can you own like a part of even? It's like I don't think there's a limit to that, but it's like is it like is it like fucking free money glitch when like you own like 5%, so it doesn't affect you that much, but it's like it is a like recurring revenue from that.
Yeah, that's it's literally just gambling at that point though still.
You think so?
Um yeah, I mean yeah, you can assess the risk, but I like how I like to tell everybody, you know, until you actually do it, then you're gonna find out if it works or not. Like
Ah, yeah, of course.
if you're like I mean the guy on Shark Tank, I mean he can convince you probably 90%, and really get you to pull the trigger for you. But it's never really going to make you 100% convinced until you actually see anything out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Did you like ever try to like, put on like your old friends from high school or something like that you know, most of them like just tried business just because they saw you do it?
Yes, yes, that is a very big canyon event that a lot of people go through. Um, and the reason why I say that is because the journey is very lonely. So I guess what the brain wants to do is, you know, you have a vision that you're on. It's going to want to constantly try and get someone to have that same vision and go down the path that you're trying to go down because
Mm,
it'll be less lonely. That's very there's a very unprobabilistic chance that it's gonna, you know, they're gonna actually have the same vision as you. I've went through that
mm.
quite some time, like forcing people to do stuff, of like, you know, forcing people to trade, forcing my younger brother to go to the gym and all that. It usually just works out.
Yeah, because this journey is hard enough when you want to do it, so trying to get someone
Yeah,
who doesn't really want to do it, bro, they're not gonna last to that.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I suppose like when you hire somebody, like what are you looking for when you would hire? I don't suppose in FBA you really like hire a lot of people, do you?
I do. I have three prepping employees, one general
Ah.
manager. Yeah. Um, one of believe it or not, one of the things that I look for is if they've been indoctrinated enough. And
Hmm.
it may sound fucked up. It may. But if I hire, you know, an entrepreneurial type of mindset guy, he's probably going to leave me within the next, you know, couple of months. But if I
Hmm.
can find someone that really relies on me to pay them and has no drive to go and do anything else but work for me, then I'd
Mm.
probably have him for a couple. So that's one of the major
Yeah.
things that I look at.
Yeah. Sounds bad, but it makes sense to be honest.
Yeah, it's very bad. Like I, very sounds very very bad, but they haven't left me in over a year. So
Yeah, but it does make sense at the end because there's like endless. There's never gonna be a shortage of people who just want to work a job, you know. So it's like there's
it's,
never gonna be a shortage of these people.
it's gonna sound a little messed up, but also, you have to keep them fed enough to keep them coming back, and to stay
Yeah,
above water, but keep them starved enough for them to stay.
yeah, yeah.
So in
Definitely
terms
makes sense.
of pay, which
Mm.
is again messed up, but this is the world of business.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Did you like did you have like any mentors in like your first months and years in FBA? Like buying any mentorships, like one on one for someone, etc.
I did. Actually, I still buy courses nowadays. I just spent $10,000 on a course for what's it called? $10,000 for a course for like coding and stuff with Claude for my softwares and stuff like that. One of the
Mm.
biggest mentors that I was this guy. He owns Stealth Seller owns like a big software and a big info empire, and he does really well on Amazon. I just call him all the time and just give him. He just gives me a whole bunch of advice. I'm like, thank you for an
Mm.
hour of your time. I will do not pay you because he just likes
Yeah.
talking to me and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. Like for example, I remember, bro, when I'm still in his communities, right? But whenever I was like on a group call and someone like asked him like in the chat, like how much would he want like for like, for a one-to-one session, like one-to-one coaching call. And he said, bro, honestly, like 4 or 5 grand per hour. And and like the chat like started like, like making fun of him like he's joking or something. But then to be honest, it kind of makes sense of his waking hours with like the revenue of his school community. It kind of makes sense. Like 4 or 5K an hour. It's like I can understand why he does group coaching, for example. A lot of people like, bro, imagine how much it would cost to fucking get like 1 hour with Bezos, for example. Dude, it would be millions of
Oh,
dollars
it'd be
probably.
millions,
Yeah, it would be
be millions.
crazy.
Just letting you
Yeah.
know real quick. Go in about like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, then let's run through some rapid fire questions before we wrap up.
All right.
What's the best and worst advice someone has given you?
Best advice that I have been given. Something that I learned myself, and something someone told me is that no one's really come to save me. If I want to eat, then I have to cook some food. If I want to run a business, then I have to go run a business. It's very bland, but if I
Yeah.
want to, chase a relationship with God, then I have to go chase a relationship with God. And the worst advice I've ever been given, there isn't really a worse advice I've ever been given. If I have been giving bad advice, I just usually flip it around. So I'll digest it,
Mm.
understand it, flip it around to like the opposing side. So I always just constantly just good advice. But I'd say like the worst advice that I've been given is um, that you have to have someone to be on this journey. It makes it funner. It makes it all. It's
Mm.
honestly very like nice. You learn a lot while you're being alone. If that makes
Mm.
sense. So
Yeah, that makes sense. What would you say was the proudest moment in your life?
my first Amazon sale. Dude, I was jumping for joy, bro. I was like literally crying because like
uh,
2.5 years never made it. Boom, made money. It was like
yeah.
the best.
How
Like,
much was it? What'd you say?
like $16. Yeah, it was the 16 bucks. So
Yeah.
happy. The proudest moment was when I moved my mom and my brother into a good apartment. That was like
Mm.
second best good
Yeah, it
moment.
makes sense. Yeah. Okay, how would you describe yourself in like 2 words?
Unpredictable. Um, very straightforward. Very, very
Mm.
straightforward type of guy.
Damn, bro, that was 5 words. That's okay, bro. Just kidding. Um, so
Straightforward. Uh,
yeah, bro. Anyways, man. Man, I know you gotta go. It was a pleasure having you here. What's next for you, man, in the next couple of months?
Oh, I'm just doing the same thing I've been doing for the past 2.5 years. Waking up same time, going to the
Mm.
gym, working with business, posting content, and yeah, that is it. But the upcoming year definitely will be a multi millionaire by the end of this year for sure. And real estate stuff like that. But
Peaceful but boring life, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Life's more simpler when you just do the right things, when you don't just like plan on just going to the club randomly, you don't just plan just like a random day smoke weed or something like that. When you don't
yeah,
do any of this shit, life is pretty simple, you know?
it is.
Yeah. Like business problems are unpredictable, but other than that, it's like life is not that unpredictable.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, man?
Kovvefba on all socials, kicks, Instagram, TikTok. It's just Kovvefba. That is it.
Okay, man, definitely. Guys, go check him out. His links will be your first link in the description. May God bless you, man. Thank you for taking time out of your day for this. And guys, catch you on the next one.